What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Thursday night. Drums and oh crap. Hang on. I gotta get my mic on. Got the wrong mic on here. There we go. Jesus. It's like I've never done this before. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Drums and Drams Thursday night live stream. Sorry about that technical difficulty. I was running around to the last minute like I always do before these streams start. So forgive me for that. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We've got some epic bottles, some really good stuff to taste this evening, and I'm just really looking forward to it. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello to a few people in the chat. We've already got super chats coming in, which is totally crazy. Thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. I believe Marty is in here. Marty, I just got your text. Marty is going to be tracking super chats this evening because we do have a giveaway tonight, and it's a great giveaway at that. So I'm very excited about all of these things. All right, and I'm excited to not track super chats as well. It's always nice to be able to not worry so much about that. So thank you, Marty. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. So hey guys, before we get into it, I will forget to do this if I don't do it right now. Before I say hello to everybody and all that good stuff. Tonight, same rules as always. You know, for every $5 super chat, one entry into the giveaway. Marty tracks it. I will call out some winners at the end of the stream based on Siri, number randomizer, all that kind of good stuff. But tonight, the giveaway prize is a bottle of Calumet Farm 16 year. Okay, so this is a bottle that's getting a lot of good press right now on the whiskey tubes. So this is going to be the first prize, and the first prize winner is also going to get a sample of Matt Porter's ADHD Whiskey World's Top Whiskey Taster Blend, a 1 ounce sample. I can only spare 1 ounce of this stuff. But second prize, or the second person that gets called to win tonight, is going to get a sample pack of Bardstown Bourbon Company products. I'll throw some good ones in there, and it will also include a sample of this. So that is what we are super chatting for tonight. We're also just super chatting to support Drums and Drams, you know. Got to keep the lights on here. So that's what we're doing, all right? So let me say hello to a few people. I do want to get a pour in my glass. We're going to start low proof, and we're just going to go ahead and start the evening off here. So I'll give you a quick little, first impression review of this Green River here in just a second. But cheers to all of you. Let me know what you're sipping on in the chat. Good to see you all. All right. Well, we've got to call this out first and foremost. Paul Graham, holy crap, man. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat before the stream even got going, an hour before. So that is amazing. It's poker night for Paul, so he's not going to be hanging out this evening. But Paul, as many of you know, is a humongous supporter of the channel. Cheers to Top Dog. I saw Top Dog's Instagram post a second ago, getting ready for the stream. Little pregame action. Tom Lynch, cheers to you, man. Good to see you. I know Drew P is taking a little time off. It looks like Brian's been over there doing his thing on the old channel, so that's awesome. Tom, it's been a while, man. I haven't seen you. I think the last time was in Chateau. Let's see. Tom with a super chat as well. Glad to see you're getting back into the routine, Cam. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I've been dropping a lot of content recently. So I was hyped up a few weeks ago, and I was like, it's going to be a Drums and Drams summer. And that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back into it. This week is definitely heavy on the content. It's not always going to be this heavy. So recent reviews, what have I put out? The Stag Junior 16 and 17 comparison. That was getting ready for yesterday's drop, which was the Stag Batch 18 review. If you guys haven't checked these videos out, I would encourage you to check them out. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button, trying to get the analytics back up so I can get out there and more eyeballs on the channel. Today I dropped a chicken cock bourbon quick sip, just kind of getting some stuff out there. Distillery sent me that bottle. What else? The 10 Cup 10-year review, the A.H. Hirsch that Matt Porter sent me, just some good stuff. So what am I working on right now? Let's see. I've got Woodford Batch Proof, the new release. I've got a video already shot. I just need to put the finishing touches on that one. Got Rabbit Hole 15-year Mizunara cask. Got a quick sip of that coming out. Booker's Rye, very extra Old Fitzgerald 1965 edition. So those are all shot and ready to go. And then upcoming are going to be these Bardstown bottlings that we're going to discuss tonight, the new Booker's batch and some other things. So that's what's on the horizon. And weekly dram. The weekly dram is going to be coming back too. So thank you, Tom. Amy, thank you for the $20 super chat. Cheers to you as well. Thank you so much. It is almost Friday. It is almost Friday. I'm playing a gig this weekend with Christopher Cross. Christopher Cross is the gig this weekend on Saturday. What's up, Aiden? Good to see you. Who else do I have in here? JG, man, what is up? Toshi Bake, good to see you. Dustin Pullman, J. Henry Belfontaine to start the night off. Nice. J. Henry is just phenomenal. Killing it. Daniel P., what is up? What is up? I'm going to keep scrolling through here, guys. Oh, the man himself, Matt Porter, ADHD Whiskey, Kamalema Ding Dong. There's low-hanging fruit on that one. I'll just let it go. But thank you for the $10 super chat, Matt. If you win, dude, you're going to win a sample of your own blend. Can you believe that? Jeff Perkins, what's up? Amy got some Penelope Barrel Proof. Oh, I love that stuff. Batch 6 is still my yam. I love Batch 6. Roy N. drinking some Blanton's Gold. Can't believe how good it is. I'm glad your single barrel is good. Mine tasted like urine, and I actually poured 3/4 of a bottle down the drain. I mean, it was undrinkable, and it's the only time I've ever drain poured something. Weird. Sipping on a port finish Starlight, wondering what it tastes like, says the man with the C word. I'm not going to say it because we'll get like demonetized and flagged by the CDC probably. JG, thank you for the super chat. Whiskey cheers. And Top Dog with the super chat for the win. There we go. There we go. You guys are awesome with the super chats. I really appreciate it. We're going to get into it this evening in just a second. I'm almost caught up. I'm almost there. Hit that like button. Please, please, please hit that like button this evening. Let's get some more people hanging out with us tonight. It would really, really help the channel, of course, to get some more eyeballs in here. Yeah. We've got some good stuff to talk about. These Bardstown videos I do, like when I do a live stream and I talk about Bardstown releases in particular, they do really well, and I don't know what it is. The last time I did this, it was like my highest viewed live stream ever. I think it was last summer when the Ferran came out, when Discovery 6 might have been the one that was coming out at that time. Yeah, I think it was Discovery 6, Ferran, and the triple blended stave finish. That video was like, it did very well for a live stream. So that's interesting. Sugar Kitty, keep the lights on. Lights, you got lights? I have more lights on right now than you would actually believe. All the LEDs behind me. This little guy, I've got 2 different LED panels back here, one behind and one in front of the belt. Got a light here. I got a light here. I got another light here. Too many lights. We got to keep them on. I did hear that Service Bar is reopening. Yeah, I was over there just the other day. Matt Poulos, good to see you, man. Thanks for the super chat, and cheers to you. What's up, Cheech, man? Cheech, another gigging soul in the chat here. Thanks, man. Good luck on whatever you have coming up, too. Jake, I have not sent the bottle yet, man. This goes for everybody in the chat right now. If I owe you something from a giveaway over the last couple of live streams, I've just been so behind, and then I ran out of sample bottles and boxes. I order Uline boxes and sample bottles in bulk from Glass Bottle Outlet. I'm so sorry. I'm behind on all that stuff, and I just like to get it all out at once. So, Jake, I will get in touch with you because I think I still might need your address as well. Do apologize on that, but I'm on it. Yes, sailing. We're doing that one. We are doing that one. Yeah. All right, guys. So what else have I missed here? I just ate a gigantic meal before this with a lot of garlic. It was delicious. But my palate is kind of wonky right now. So I'm hoping this Green River is going to help reset me just a little bit. I've already had a few drinks this evening. The wife is away for a day and a half, and I started drinking a little bit early. But I actually find that a few drinks in me helps me taste a little bit better, makes me a little more creative with what I'm smelling. So that's my excuse. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, last thing I wanted to do is just push the Patreon. Guys, I'm back and active on Patreon. Please, if you do want to help support the channel on a monthly basis, there's only a $5 and $10 tier over there. No merch yet, and no barrel picks yet, but that stuff is all in the works. So if you wouldn't mind and you want to help support Drums and Drams, $5 and $10 tiers over on the Patreon, written reviews and stuff like that going on over there. So that is all. Let's get into it this evening. Here we go. So we're going to start off with this Green River. We're going to taste it first, and then I'm going to get right into the 3 Bardstown releases, all right? So the Bardstown releases we have, again, Matt Porter's ADHD Whiskey Blend, the brand new Fur Cullen, which is a very interesting blend we'll talk about in just a second. There's some Irish whiskey, 21-year Irish whiskey blended in. And then the Discovery Series 8. So these are the 3 Bardstown bottles we're going to get into tonight. But again, we're going to start with this Green River. Dustin, no, you haven't missed it. I just, I've only gotten maybe 5 or 6 videos out since I've been kind of back up and running on that. So Redemption Rye 18 will be on the way. It's just, got some other stuff I've got to get out there first. Always got to be careful about timing. All right, so here we go. Let's check out Green River on the nose. This is a 90 proofer from a distillery that was just acquired by Bardstown Bourbon Company, of all things. So I thought it would be nice to put these together on the live stream. So Green River, let's check this thing out on the nose here. It's a high rye bourbon, I believe, at 90 proof. Wow, first thing jumping out of the glass on this Green River is like really candy bright butterscotch, not old school dusty butterscotch. This is just like butterscotch candy, butterscotch chips that you might put in a dessert. That is the kind of butterscotch you're getting on here, and that's the dominant note on the nose right away. Yeah. There's a little bit of honey in here too. There's something kind of dark, almost like a charcoal kind of note. Yeah, along with that honey and with that butterscotch, maybe a little bit of maltiness in here too. Not like Chattanooga, not as strong as the Jack Daniel's Triple Mash or anything like that, but a decent little malty quality to this as well. Yeah, Matt, I heard the same thing. Some other drummer on YouTube put out a video today and just said it absolutely sucked. So, yeah, I don't know what to think, but we'll see when we get there. We'll see. Yeah, slight cardboard note on this Green River. Yeah, there's no other way to put it. A little bit of cardboard here. But all in all, it's pretty nice. It's definitely not in the same realm as like an Elijah Craig small batch, which is a little darker and oakier and, yeah, I guess darker and richer maybe. This is on the brighter end of things for a Kentucky bourbon. I don't dislike it. I'm not crazy about it. It's not something that I would like smell this and go, wow, I can't wait to taste that. But it is well put together on the nose from what I'm smelling, and I know this stuff is like 4 years old. It's not very old at all. So, for a new distillery, kind of giving them a pass on that. Yeah. There's something in here I can't quite place. I don't know if it's a funky grain note, but I'll dig into it a little bit more. But let me go ahead and get this on the palate again and see what we get. Cheers. Nice little bit of spice in there, yeah. This being a high rye bourbon really helps it on the palate. At this proof especially, it smelled pretty unassuming with those bright butterscotch kind of notes. But the palate is a much better experience in the nose. Yeah, okay. So On the palate now, a lot of pepper. It's not really like a cinnamon spice that I'm picking up. This is like a white pepper kind of spice. And that's really driving the entire experience. Palate also brings in some bright, almost strawberry kind of notes, a little bit of like a strawberry candy. Yeah, and coming back to the nose, starting to get, like I was talking about, I couldn't tell what that funkiness is in here. I think it's sort of like that Woodinville grain note. A little bit of funkiness that you get on Woodinville. This has maybe like 20% of that. So it's not as strong as you would get on a Woodinville, but still kind of a fresh grain quality to it. You guys in the chat. JG, I heard the ADHD blend is a blend of Fireball, Malort, and Dickel Tabasco. ADHD, an awesome damn hitter dram. All right. All right. Yeah, it's meaty ochre. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, so far, I mean, this Green River, I know some people really enjoyed this stuff. And I think the reason might be because it is it's something different. It's very easygoing. It's something different. I think for me, this is in that realm of let's see where this goes over the next 4 to 6 years. Let's get this product to 8 years old and see how, that extra barrel influence is going to treat these bright butterscotch flavors, because it's not often that you taste this much butterscotch in a modern day bourbon. And when you do taste it, the thought comes into my mind of like, could this be in several years' time that same dark, rich butterscotch that we know on some of those old Dusties? Could it evolve into that? Or is this going to stay bright with age? Like, what is that extra barrel influence going to do to it? This is an exciting one to watch. And if I'm not mistaken, this, and you might know in the chat, I believe this is the same whiskey that's sourced for the Blue Note Juke Joint whiskey picks. I'm looking at some of them right now. Let me know in the chat if that's the case. But that bright butterscotch note really reminds me of the Blue Note Juke Joint. And I think that one is sourced from Owensboro, if I remember on the label. Yeah. A little fresh wood, a little, more of that fresh grain note here. Some kind of cornmeal, dusty cornmeal type notes. But I do like it for the butterscotch quality and for the kind of disproportionate amount of spice that we have on here as compared to the 90 proof. Those are all good things for this Green River. Okay, Juke Joint is Green River. So that makes a lot of sense. Those Juke Joint picks for me, when you dial that up to cask strength and you get the right barrel, I think that is some of the most underrated whiskey right now that's still available somewhat, So, guys, I put out this chicken cock bourbon review today. And, I mean, I didn't go, Aiden, I don't feel like I went too hard on it. I think I was pretty fair. I gave it its due. I talked about the fact that it had some good oak notes to it, even though it's pretty young. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't super kind, but I wasn't disrespectful. I have another review of the rye coming out, sometime in the next 5 or so days, another quick sip. The rye is just a dill bomb. But, the good thing is, Aiden, the person that sends the chicken cock stuff is the same person that sends the Elvis whiskey and Traverse City. It's not the actual distilleries. It's a marketing person that they work with. So thankfully, I believe that person is pretty even keeled when it comes to this stuff. Like a bad review is just part of the territory. Whereas, yeah, I think the people behind chicken cock might feel a little differently. Who knows? Yeah, hit that like button, please, everybody. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, Paul P. Good to see you. Cheers to you. Oh, I didn't know that Bradshaw was also Green River. My dad is a big Terry Bradshaw fan, so. And Wheel Horse and Quarter Horse are also Green River. Okay. Yeah, Jake, so you guys can see the set changed a little bit. For my birthday, which is actually 2 weeks from today, I will be live streaming on my birthday. My gift arrived a little early, which was this Heaven Hill barrel that Sarah had delivered to the house. So I changed the set around a little bit, and the belt it's a great place for the belt to go there on the barrel. But guys, the belt is so reflective on the front that I can't put a light directly on it. You have to kind of light around it and just try to get the logo to look as good as you can. In the second camera angle that I've been using on my videos, you can actually see the belt pretty well, but it's tough to light these things. They're too bright, too shiny. All right. So yeah, Green River, I'm not going to grade this or rate this at all right now, but for a $30, $35 whiskey, if you're looking for something on the brighter side, if you like Elijah Craig's small batch, you want something a little brighter, think about picking one of these up. Even I think Knob Creek fans are going to find something to like in here too. It's not as nutty, but it has kind of the same spicier grain qualities going on as well. So yeah, decent. I said that next we were going to do the Bardstown releases. What I would really like to do, which I forgot about until I just noticed it sitting over here, I'd love to check out this Heaven's Door. Heaven's Door just sent me a little media kit sample thing. So let's see. Aiden, I see that super chat. That's hilarious. So they sent me Heaven's Door sent me this kit, and you guys know Heaven's Door is kind of the Bob Dylan celebrity whiskey brand. So this is what came in the box. There was a box that it was mailed in. It's got some tasting notes, a little bit of information. Interestingly, they are pointing out their 2022 multi-million-dollar ad spend. So they're proud of the amount of money they're pumping into their marketing, which is, I mean, yeah, you want to pump money into marketing. Just kind of interesting to put it on these materials. A couple quotes down here. Yeah, so that's what we've got here. And then the only other piece of pertinent information on here, like the tasting notes, whatever, it says that this is from Tennessee. It is sourced from Tennessee. This is the Decades 10-year release. Automatically, you think George Dickel, sourcing from Tennessee. But it says non-charcoal mellowed, like true bourbon should be. Distilled no more than 130 proof to preserve flavors from fermentation. So no greater than 130 proof. That's interesting. It's a high rye mash bill. The exact proportion is 22% rye. They do not provide the other proportions of corn and malted barley. 22 rye and non-chill filtered to showcase tannins from barrel aging. So when you think Dickel straight away on this Heaven's Door stuff at 10 years old, high rye, 22%, no charcoal mellowing, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know where this stuff comes from. So anyways, the box looks like this that they sent along. Opens up here. And then pretty standard stuff here. This flask was sitting here. They kind of give this little journal. It's just whatever. But unfortunately, the journal is kind of torn up on the back because of the adhesive they used. So not great. And then a pen to go with it. So that's what they sent along. I've already tasted this. I've done a written review for this on the Patreon. Posted it today. And I will have a video review of this coming out pretty soon. But for now, we're going to go ahead and try this. Again, this is the Heaven's Door first release of their Decades series, 10 years age stated, and bottled at 100 proof. I have to leave myself enough. I drank quite a bit of this yesterday doing my written review. Amy, thank you for this, guys. Yeah, just a quick reminder in the chat for everybody. 1, please hit the like button. Let's get some more folks hanging out this evening. Number 2, giving away a bottle of Calumet Farm 16-year. Fantastic stuff. And a sample of Matt Porter's ADHD Whiskey Blend from Bardstown. Second prize winner is going to get a Bardstown sample pack, including the ADHD Whiskey Blend. Every $5 in Super Chats gets you in. And Marty from Whiskey Knows is tracking this evening. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. All right. Heaven's Door 10-year Decade Series Release 1. Let's check it out on the nose. Huh. So I do have some notes on this that I wrote from yesterday. But I'm going to, I'm going to give it its fair shake tonight and see what we get. I have an idea of it. Yeah, so this is an interesting profile on the nose. It's a little bit on the lighter side. When you think of a 10-year bourbon, whether from Tennessee, Kentucky, anywhere, you think 10 years, that's going to be pretty hefty, a lot of oak influence and leather and stuff like that. The nose of this one is a lot of light fruits, peaches and pears. There's a strong vanilla and kind of like whipped cream note. Yeah, and even some like what is that orange? What is that candy? Dream Savers? Does that sound right? Dream Savers? Is that what it's called? I gotta look that up. Dream Savers? No. What is it called? The little cookie, not cookies and cream, but strawberries and cream candies. And I think there were orange ones too. What are those things called? Oh, is it Cream Savers? Oh yeah, it's Cream Savers. Yeah, and Cream Savers does have an orange variety. There we go, orange and cream. This smells like Cream Savers. Peaches, pears, Cream Savers, and a little bit of like a baking spice, like an allspice, nutmeg kind of thing going on the nose. But again, it's a really light nose. It smells great. It smells really good. It's just not what I expected for this one. Yeah, let's check it out on the palate. I'll come back to the nose. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That mouthfeel is insane. Holy crap. I'm going to tell you right now, this is what the bottle looks like. The Decade Series. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a buy. It is not like your typical 10-year aged product from Kentucky. It's lighter, but the mouthfeel is humongous. This is just dense whiskey is how I would kind of classify it. Wow. And now as I've tasted it the first time, the age is showing in this, but it's showing up as leather all the way. And I love leather in my whiskey and my wine and everything like that. This is a leathery freaking whiskey. Wow. Really good stuff. Paul P says, almost bought a Calumet 16 tonight, but passed. Maybe it's meant to be since I may win it instead. Yeah. So 2 entries into the giveaway. Paul, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And Marty's got us covered over there, keeping track of everything. Thank you so much again, Marty. Mike is saying cheers. Cheers to you as well. Sugar Kitty coming in with some information. 22% rye is not currently any popular mash bill. It could be Tennessee Distilling Company. They may have sourced, from Dickel to provide to Heaven's Door. They may now have their own distillate old enough. Interesting. I didn't know. Here's the thing. This kind of tastes like Dickel. It has 0 of the minerality. I'm super sensitive to that stuff. I get 0 of it in here. I don't know if maybe I'm getting used to it a little bit more, but I really think this has none of it going on. Even some of the Blue Note 17 that people were saying, oh, this didn't go through the Lincoln County process. It has no Dickel minerality. I still picked up minerality on the Blue Note 17. Some more than others. This one, I do not sense it. Not at all. I did have the thought that this could be, like, I didn't know if Dickel contract distilled for anybody. I had the thought that this could be it because it has similar flavors, like that heavy orange note. This has some lighter fruits and a lot of leather. I think Dickel for me tends to get kind of leathery. It has some of that stuff, but it's because of all the rye content, it's just different. Oh shit, and I spilled it everywhere. All over my mouse. Give me 1 second. I gotta wipe this up before my mouse totally dies. Nailed it. All I have are some tissues, so. Wow, Heaven's Door. Sorry about that. They send me a 100 milliliter flask, and I drank half of it, and now I've spilled another quarter of it. So I'm going to get one more sip tonight of this stuff, and then I'm going to have to wrap that up because I have to save enough for the actual review. Good job, Cameron. Whatever. Oh, Lord. It's one of those days, you know? Got to wipe up the mouse. Daniel. Yeah, exactly, right? If you guys didn't see my live stream 2 weeks ago, this mouse will just suddenly backspace me out of StreamYard and just kick me off my own live stream. One wrong move. I can't believe it didn't do that right now. So, yeah, I have enough for one sip left on this. Let's do that. Let's do that final sip of this Heaven's Door Decade series. Off the rails. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's a little bit bready also on the palate. Kind of like fresh baked bread, or almost a little toasty as well, which kind of leads me more towards that Dickel thought that it could be something somehow sourced from them. Wow, it's good stuff though. All right, so for me, as somebody who got this sample from Heaven's Door, I'm not shy to say I don't like something. I truly, really enjoy this bottle, and it's something that I am going to consider picking up at that $100 price point. It's not cheap. I know $100 can go a long way with whiskey, although these days maybe a little less far. This, to me, is a really solid special release from Heaven's Door, and I'm going to recommend this one. Yeah, for people that like aged whiskey, but maybe aren't the biggest fans of really heavy oak, this is really a nice choice. So, yeah. Sugar Kitty says, Tennessee Distilling is a facility that wants to become the new MGP of Tennessee. They've got their own stills, bottling, and storage. They'll do any or all of the work for a brand. Okay. Nice. I did not know that. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. So, guys, I don't know when the release of that is, but I know there is a pre-order for the Heaven's Door Decade series on maybe like Reserve Bar or some other site like that I've seen. So when it comes out, you know, just keep an eye out for it and think about picking one up. I don't think it's going to fly off the shelves. I think there's going to be enough distribution and not a crazy interest like there would be for like a Buffalo Trace or Heaven Hill allocated product. So you probably have enough time to try it at a bar if you can first, but that's that. Okay. Still have freaking whiskey all over the table. I usually have a box of paper towels in here just in case that happens. And for some reason today, I do not have that box of paper towels with me. All right. There we go. All All right, for those of you just now joining us, I swear it's not as much of a disaster as it looks. Hit that like button, please. Let me know what you're sipping on, if anything, and we're going to keep going. So on to some of these Bardstown releases. I'm going to start with this one, which is very interesting. This is the Bardstown for Cullen. All right. Now, I am going to see if I can put up the blend of what's in here. I have it on my computer, and let me see if I can get it up on the screen here in StreamYard. I want to show you guys what's actually in this blend for the Cullen. I just need to make sure I have it on my computer. Yes. Okay. Let's see how this works. I have to upload it into StreamYard just very quickly. It may show up as a see-through PNG file, though. So while that loads, I'm going to get a pour of this out. Good. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's kind of hard to see, but I think it works. Is that okay? All right. Yeah, I think that's fine. I know it's I know it's see-through, but we can go over it from here, right? So here's what I'll say. I went down to Bardstown Bourbon Company yesterday. I just got this itch. I have a weird work schedule in my life. I work weekends, I play shows, and I just kind of set my own schedule at any given time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just drive to Bardstown Bourbon Company. I didn't know how quickly this might sell out, if it would sell out, Discovery 8. I didn't even know Matt's Blend was still going to be in the gift shop. And so I got up at 4:30 in the morning, and I just got in my car and drove down and got there in time for opening. And I was the first one. Really, nobody else even showed up before open. Like, I was there 30 minutes before. The guy came outside. He's like, hey, man, you here for some bottles? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, just come on in, and he let me in at like 8:30. I think they open at 9. And I went in there and snagged this for Cullen, Disco 8, and Matt's Blend. So I guess I'm like probably the first person to buy a bottle of this. My claim to fame. So anyways, that's how I came to get this. For Cullen is $200, which is not cheap, but it has a 21-year Irish whiskey blended into this. Okay, so this is what we have in the blend. Let's see. Brian, I actually am going to send you a message about a friend that is hoping that you might need to go to Bardstown Bourbon Company and pick up any of these releases. I don't know how close you live, but this friend, I think, has a bottle of Matt's Blend that may be waiting for him there, that someone has either reserved or just made, I don't know. But because these were still in stock, I think he may have a bottle waiting. Well, my mouse did it again. Sorry about that, everybody. My mouse backspaced me out of my own stream yet again. So I may message you, Brian, and see if you could maybe pick this up and mule it, but no pressure, man. I don't know how close you live, anything like that. So, anyways, yeah, I was just there for like 10 minutes and I drove straight back home. Top Dog, I have not been to the Bardstown Vintage Library yet. Brian, thanks, man. I'll give you a holler. What's up, Eric Waite? Good to see you, man. So, guys, let's talk about this blend very quickly for Cullen. This is bottled at 102.4 proof, so a little lower proof, 51.2% ABV. It does not say that it's cask strength, but it could be based on the fact that there's a lot of Tennessee whiskey, a.k.a. George Dickel, in there, typically lower proof, and Irish whiskey, which is also probably a little lower proof. So the primary part of this blend, for better or worse, is 36% of I guess I can point to these on screen. I'm like Vanna White. 36% of a Tennessee 17-year mash bill of 84 corn, 8 rye, 8 malted barley. So then after that, we have this 24% Kentucky 12-year bourbon. This could be a wild turkey mash bill. You never really know. Down here, we have 26% of a Kentucky 12-year, which is most certainly Heaven Hill. And then below that, we have only 1/5 of the blend being a 21-year Irish whiskey. I believe that Irish whiskey has a secondary maturation. I want to say it was in Marsala casks, but I'm not 100% positive. Someone in the chat can confirm or deny that or clarify. So that's what we've got going on here. A lot of Dickel in the blend. Sometimes that works. Most of the time it doesn't. For $200, it better freaking work. Hey, Bev. What's up? Hey, speaking of Vanna White, when I was a little kid at Myrtle Beach, we ran into Vanna White on the carousel ride, and my parents have a picture, I believe, with me, and I think she had a son at the time. Well, if she had one at the time, I hope she still has him. But Vanna White's, if I remember correctly, it was her son. We have a picture together from the good old days, from the 1990s, or maybe the early 2000s. I'm young, sort of young. I feel like I'm just going to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking now. Minor Hibb says, wish I still lived in Bardstown. That's, I wish I lived in Bardstown. Ever. Thank you for the super chat. That's 2 entries into tonight's giveaway. And Aiden, yeah, you're right. Good age on it at least. We'll see. It's getting some air right now. I've only had one very small sip of this so far, and I wasn't thinking. I was just like, let's sip it. That was yesterday when I got home. Oh, what's up? The mash bill is in the house. Wags, give me whiskey, bottle or samples, win-win. Absolutely. Eric, wait, why the hat? Having a bad hair day? I had one of those 30 years ago. No, I'm just being paid to wear this hat from Middle West. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Yeah, look at my hair right now. It's just matted. It's matted way down. I need a haircut. I need to shave my face. I need to shower. There's a lot of things I need today. Aiden, I was born in 94. Okay, let's get into this now. Yeah, Sugar Kitty says wild turkey or beam. Yeah, I've heard both from people about the Bardstown stuff. I'm more in the wild turkey camp, but I really don't know. I don't know how much of that stuff they actually source out to people. All right. So this is interesting on the nose. Yeah. Strangely, at only 102.4 proof, it's a little bit sharp in terms of ethanol. Now, I know the biggest concern here is that 36% George Dickel 17-year in the blend. You can smell it. All right, so the minerality in here, it's not coming off so much as that vitamin note that people don't like, and it's not coming off as sort of, what's the other thing that people talk about? Kind of like an industrial, antiseptic, medicinal kind of note. It's not really coming off that way. Yeah, the Dickel note in here is kind of combining with the maltiness of the Irish whiskey, and it's presenting more as a bread note, and it's presenting more as a texture on the nose as opposed to an off note. It's just kind of deepening and enhancing things, but it's there. And if you're super sensitive to Dickel, this may not be something for you to pick up. I am really sensitive to it, but there are a few ways in which it can be used in blends that I think actually, helps improve the blend when you use some aged Dickel. Yeah, so kind of getting beyond that, there is a really nice amount of fruit going on in here. But this whiskey overall, like I'm going to call out some notes. Like if I call out orange and kind of bright summer fruits, apricot, peach, strawberry, like I can call those out and you might have an idea of what this is in your head. even if I call out the Dickel texture. But I'm telling you, whatever notes I call out, you have to add the caveat that it's malty, and you have to add the caveat that it kind of smells like Jack Daniel's triple mash or something, right? So I think a lot of times when we do these review videos, we don't give enough context for the actual tasting notes that we start rattling off. This is something I've noticed in myself. You look around Whiskey Tube and you see it as well. We get so focused on the notes that we don't talk about the experience and kind of the overalls on the whiskey. And I think it's important to note, like here, that you need to like a little bit of maltiness in your whiskey to appreciate this. And at $200, just based on the nose so far, you better be a fan of triple mash, of Chattanooga, and even better if you're a fan of American single malt or Scotch whiskeys. It's just oddly alcoholic. I don't really understand that. It's like the components of the blend are fighting each other a little bit and going the way of too much ethanol. Eric Waite says not to swirl, just to give it a gentle roll around the glass. Yeah, I mean, it's still there, but starting to get a little bit more of a bright cherry note, a little bit more fruitiness in here. Let's go ahead and try this on the palate. All right, for Cullen, here we go. Wow. Big on the palate. Really big. Oh, that's extremely flavorful. Tons of green apple right now too. Sour, a lot of sour tart fruit notes in here. Candy fruits and sour tart fruits. Like I said, summer fruits, apricot, peach, strawberry, and then on the way up, kind of that green apple note. That Dickel thing is hanging on. It's a little bit, yeah, a little drying, and it's adding that kind of that texture, that kind of granular texture on the palate. They're not paying me, I promise. I would not let George Dickel pay me. Oh, geez, what happened? Eric gets time out for nonsense. Oh, Matt is talking about the swirling thing. Matt is the master, the world's top whiskey swirler, the WTWS and the WTWT. Brian, I don't have any experience with Westland. Actually, I've had a few samples in blinds, but nothing that I can like recall off the top of my head. If you guys are hanging out, hit that like button. We're gonna keep digging into this for Cullen blend. Wow, coming back to the nose, it got a lot more malty, a lot more Irish whiskey forward now. I at first thought that there maybe was not enough Irish whiskey in this blend to significantly contribute to what they've done with it. Second nose, after the palate is acclimated to, in particular, the George Dickel quality in here, you start to get into more of the Irish whiskey kind of vegetal note, that note when it's been triple distilled, it's really been stripped down. You're getting a little bit of like, not grassiness, it's just vegetal. That's the best way I can put it. That's starting to really come out here. If you guys like Redbreast 15, Redbreast, I mean, any Redbreast, I guess. I was going to say 12, 15, or cask strength. If you like any of those Redbreasts, you might dig this whiskey. Brian says, come to Seattle. Dude, are you going to Seattle to do it? I have a free flight right now on Southwest. I've got points. I'll be, say no more. I'll be in Seattle. Let me know when. I'm not even joking. As long as I'm not playing a show that day. Eric says, Ralphie says, no shaky, shaky. I love Ralphie, man. If there's somebody I can meet in the whiskey tube world, there are three people in a particular order. One, Ralphie. No, one is Horst Looning. Two is Ralphie. And three, I want to meet Fred Minnick. I would love to meet Fred Minnick. What's up, Audio Junkie? Just got off work and tuning in. Good to see you. Greg says, Vanna White is from North Myrtle Beach. Just a useless tidbit of information. P.S. Did you ask her to buy a vowel? If I wasn't 5 or 6 years old at the time, I totally would have, but I had no idea what she was, what she did. I could really rake it in on only Dickel fans. Okay, here we go. Michael S. Be careful. All this Dickel talk will get you demonetized. That's hilarious. Oh, you guys, didn't I make the list? I'm talking about... All right, you guys know what I mean. Of course I want to meet... I want to meet everybody in the chat. Come on. Also, if you guys are going to the Junkies Hangout this summer, let me know. I'm excited. I'm going to be there. Unfortunately, I missed the VIP tickets. I wish I could get into that cocktail party event that Friday night, but oh well. Anyway, Sarah and I are going to be at the Junkies Hangout, and I'm really excited. All right. Let's go in for another sip here of the Furcullen. Look, Bardstown did a great job blending this for the palate in terms of just a big, explosive. Well, I don't want to say explosive. This is not an explosive whiskey. It's just a really bold and heavy whiskey. It's actually not unlike the Heaven's Door 10. The Heaven's Door 10 doesn't have that Dickel note on there. But these are both in the lighter fruit category. Furcullen is just a little bit heavier, a little bit richer. Matt says, looking forward to finally meeting Sarah. I know she's looking forward to meeting you too, man. I can't wait. I cannot freaking wait. And Sarah and I got married last summer in Colorado, and we have not been able to go on a honeymoon or even any sort of trip or vacation, right? Like, so the Junkies Hangout is going to probably be the first time that we've been able to just go somewhere, and it's only 2 days. But even because of that, I'm excited. Very excited. Aiden says, I'm the definition. You are the definition of an OG fan. You're probably one of the most OG fans or supporters, I want to say. I don't like the word fan. The word fan makes me feel weird. One of the biggest supporters and the oldest supporters of the channel, for sure. Top dog must be 4 on the list. All right, so is this a $200 bottle? I don't know. Is anything a $200 bottle? That's tough, you know. But I think the fact that this is distillery only, you know, don't feel like you guys are missing out on something big with this Furcullen. This is for a very particular audience, and that's about it. Yeah, I'll do one more sip. It's getting more and more tart on the nose. I like it. I do like it. Yeah. All right. Well, that's that. What are we going to do next? Matt's Blend or Discovery 8? I have an idea of which one I think I should do first. I think I might do Matt's Blend first. Brian says Blanton's is my 200 bottle. Don't say that. You're going to make someone in the chat go buy it for 200. That's funny. All right. Yeah, Sugar Kitty, that might be a bot. Can someone take care of that for me? Damaris Beltran. Although, look, I'll take the love. I'll take the hearts. Oh, Brian says Disco 8. The Dickle Talk conjured the bot. Tom, I love the word conjured. That's like a video game term for me, you know? Conjured the bot. All right, let's do Disco 8 then. We'll save Matt's blend for after Disco 8. America. Weird. That was a very heavy pour. I don't know why I did that. Guys, please hit that like button if you are hanging out this evening. And reminder about tonight's giveaway. We're giving away Calumet Farm 16 for every $5 in Super Chats this evening with a sample of Matt's ADHD Whiskey Blend. Second prize is going to win a sample pack of all Bardstown Bourbon Company samples, also including this blend. So there we go. Okay, Matt says Discovery 8, very curious. Yeah, so let me get this up for you guys. I have the blend proportions of this too. Throw it in here. And the staving that they've used. So for those of you that don't know, for Discovery 8, not only is it a blend as it normally is of fairly, increasingly less. It's like a double negative. And they're using less highly aged whiskey in these blends, right? Because we're all running out of highly aged whiskey. And I think Bardstown is also simultaneously trying to increase their distribution, or at least it seems that way from the outside. So they really have to be conscious of the stuff that they're going to use in these blends. So let's just say it that way. For this, not only did they blend this whiskey together, and they also included rye, and they also included that Ontario corn whiskey. So it's considered a blended whiskey, but they've also added staves to the final product, and they give you the details of the blend and of the staving. So let me give you the blend first. Throw it up on the screen like this again. I can go full Vanna White. All right, 66% of a Kentucky 12-year, again, presumably Heaven Hill. So it looks like 2/3 of the blend, it's all being anchored on this 12-year Heaven Hill. And shoot, I mean, that's Elijah Craig barrel proof, right? More or less. 17%, ta-da, basically a sixth of the blend is an Indiana 7-year rye whiskey. Now, if you note this rye whiskey from Indiana, aka MGP, aka Ross and Squibb, this is the 51% rye mash bill, which is the experimental rye mash bill that was used in the Smoke Wagon rye bottlings that they just released in the 4 different, I believe it was 4 different char levels that they put out. All right, so this is not actually an experimental mash bill from MGP. It's just a different mash bill than the 95.5 rye that so many of us know. All right, so we have this 51% rye mash bill as 1/6 of the blend. And then finally, kind of rounding this out, about 10% of the blend is the 12-year Ontario corn whiskey, and another 6% is a 6-year MGP 95.5 rye. So that's what we have for the blend. With this, what would you expect from a blend like this? For me, it's like a slight bit of nuttiness. From here, some nice body, some really nice caramel type notes, maybe some dark cherry. Thinking about this top thing from Kentucky. With this rye and with this rye, adding a little bit of an orange note, a little bit of citrus, some extra spice, black pepper. And then finally, just kind of a dollop of, of whipped cream on the top, a little bit of sweet vanilla from this corn whiskey. That's what we've kind of, in my mind, that's what I expect from a blend that looks like this. You can just look at the mash bills and figure that out, right? Secondarily, here we go with the stave finishing. So we have a French oak double toast, which is significant in there. We have the spice rack, which is 1/4 of it. High vanilla, which is 20%. And then Rioja, and we have charred barrel, which these must be very strong stave profiles because they've only used 5% of each, right? But a lot of French oak, and a lot of people are big fans of French oak. I'm not a big fan of French oak, unfortunately. I don't know why. Okay. Check the chat. Sorry, guys. What is up, Viking Bourbon? Good to see you. Bev says, Cam, you are too funny. Thanks, Bev. High Vanilla is my rap name, says Matt. Speaking of High Vanilla, nah, I'm not going to go there. Moving on. Fred seems cool to me, says Keith. A little fancy, but that's the persona. Yeah, dude, look, I want to meet Fred Minnick for sure. I really do. He seems like a cool guy. His latest review he just put out of that Crown Royal 18 was he was pouring whiskey in his crotch. I won't say whiskey on his weenie. I'll wait until I'm 3 or 4 more drinks in, but he was pouring whiskey in his crotch in that video, and it was very funny. Hey, Mom, happy early 28th birthday. We got 2 more weeks, but thank you, Mom. All right. Let's get into this discovery. It's had a little bit of time in the glass now. Beautiful color. I mean, really nice, dark amber color. But because of the stave finishing, we have to be, careful evaluating color because of the stave finishing. To me, stave finishing is the American whiskey equivalent to adding coloring for scotches. I know it's not exactly the same, and that's an exaggeration. The coloring in scotches is not something used to influence the flavor. That's not its purpose, at least. In American whiskey, you add staves to influence flavor, but I think it also is kind of a cheap trick to get a darker color as well. So always, for those of you out there, be careful evaluating color on a finished or staved whiskey or double oaked or anything. Oh, thanks. My mom gave me $1. My mom gave me $1 for my 28th birthday 2 weeks early. What an occasion. It's on the 28th. My birthday's the 28th. All right, so on the nose here, Discovery 8. Wow. It smells like no other Discovery has ever smelled. And that seems to be kind of the trend with Discovery, is that they really center in on a different profile each time. I think the success they had, I think they really did a good job with their triple blended stave finish. I've talked about it here on a live stream, maybe 2 other times. I'm not the biggest fan of it. There's something a little bit off about it, but I think they did a really good job managing the stave finishing that they did with it. They also re-blended it at the end after they stave finished it, which gives them a little more control over how it went, I think. But this is very stave heavy. This is there's a lot of raw wood notes in here. I'm not the biggest fan of that, unfortunately. The French, it's like you're getting a ton of French oak influence, and you're getting a ton of if you guys have ever had Penelope toasted or any of the Nulu toasteds, they get this kind of raw wood, spicy pie crust, like really spicy pie crust, almost savory. They get those kind of notes, and this has a lot of that on the nose. That's the first thing I'm smelling. And it's like I don't want my Discovery to smell that way. The Discoveries, I like that they're like pure blends, and this with the stave finishing is a bummer to me. Oh, Jake McKee, thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy early birthday. Thanks, guys. Hey, I appreciate it. On my birthday stream, though, save the super chats for the birthday stream. I'll try to give something good away on that stream, too. But what's up, Chris? Chris Dendrinos with the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And that is 1 entry to tonight's giveaway. Thank you for the support. And Paul Madden, interested to see what you think of Disco 8. We're going to get to it right now on the palate. The nose, I'm going to have to get this on the palate so that I can get beyond the woodiness of the nose here. With any of these toasted products that get heavy raw wood, heavy spicy pie crust, whatever, I don't exactly know how to quantify the wood quality of this. It's just like if you've ever had a Penelope toasted bourbon that smells over toasted, that's what this is. And those Nulus can get that way too. I have to get a sip in my mouth before I can get back to the nose and get beyond that woodiness. All right, let's go to the palate. Ooh. Wow. For those of you out there that like proof and really spicy whiskey, yeah, you're going to love this stuff. You are going to love, holy crap, that goes forever. Holy crap. Like right now, I don't know how, 10 seconds ago, I took that sip. We're starting to get into the finish now. I mean, it's taking forever on the palate, and it's lighting me up. There's spice everywhere, from the front of my tongue all the way down my throat into my chest. That is so spicy. Wow. Look, I'll tell you right away, this might not be for me. I'll try to give it a fair shake right now, and when I review it and everything, this is not just for somebody. This is for a lot of people. It's going to be something that people are going to dig. I love a good "that's what she said" joke, Brian. Wow. All right, let's go back to the nose and see if I can get underneath that woodiness. It's tough. It's really tough. Yeah, it's just it feels to me like a lot of dry, dark fruits, dry, dark purple fruits, dark cherry, and just gobs and gobs of wood. The unfortunate part is on the nose, the stave finishing got rid of all the nuance of this whiskey, and it made it a lot more singular, a lot more one-dimensional. I like single note whiskeys that just know what they are. Like the Chateau de la Baude from Bardstown Bourbon Company was so unbelievably finished in those Armagnac barrels that it just had kind of one single note. But I love that note, which is why I love that whiskey. What did I just review that was the same way? Oh, Stag Junior Batch 16. All dark, juicy purple fruits. And that's it. And this is just all toasted wood finish flavor. Not a lot of nuance in here, at least from maybe my palate's blown out from the garlicky dinner I had. I don't know, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah. Starting to pick up a little kind of burnt orange, some just burnt caramels, burnt orange. Everything's burnt in here and dry, dark fruits, burnt caramel, burnt orange, and just raw wood. That French oak stave is so prominent in here, as well as that, that kind of Penelope toasted finish profile. The proof on here, Dustin, I see your chat there, is 114.1. It's a great proof point. This thing, in terms of its power on the palate and its spiciness, drinks over 114.1. Easy. All right. So maybe I spoke too soon. The palate on the second sip is so much better for me. When you have a whiskey that has one really strong note on it, I always find that you have to get that on the palate. Same thing with this, with that Dickel quality. You've got to get it on the palate one time and then come back to it. That was so much more nuanced on the second sip. It's easier to pick up some of those fruit notes that I talked about, the drier, dark fruits and that orange. Nothing really light about this, though. The lightest thing on here is just the insane spiciness. It's just all of that pie crust spice and every kind of pepper you can imagine, and a little bit of chili pepper too, So still just okay for me, but I think a lot of people are going to love it. David Babcock, love to try that Calumet. Cheers from the Ogre Lounge. Cheers to you guys. Michael S. Extra entries because I'd really like the Calumet 16 and to taste Matt. I mean the sample of the ADHD Whiskey Bardstown Blend. I want the samples. Canned samples are the best, says Top Dog. Yeah, guys, I try to give out, I'll probably throw in either a Chateau de Labat or an apple brandy finish into that Bardstown flight, I would imagine. Dustin, is Disco 8 better than Disco 7? I don't really like either of them in terms of my, what my palate likes. Let me grab Disco 7 real quick. It's right here. I don't think you could have two more opposite batches of a product based on my memory of Disco 7. So let's see. Yeah, man, the Chateau de Labat and the apple brandy are, yes, they are the two. For me, they're the two best. I have not tried the honey finish. I'm sure it's good, but the secondary on it is hilarious. The two square bottles, I have the two square bottles back there. You can see right there. Jesus. There. The white label, the Muscat Mustel finish, that might be my. It's in the top 3 for sure. It's not as high of proof, obviously, but I love that flavor on that whiskey. I managed to source a backup of it too somehow for actually a reasonable price, believe it or not. All right, so Discovery 7 and 8 comparison, just real quick before we get to Matt Porter's blend. Guys, 71 in chat. That's an awesome number. Thank you so much. For those of you who are in here, I've been dropping a lot of reviews. Stag Junior 16 and 17 comparison. Stag Batch 18. A.H. Hirsch, the most expensive whiskey I've ever tasted. Chicken Cock Bourbon today. We've got a bunch of stuff coming out. Check those videos out. Hit that like button on those videos. Hit the like button in this video right now, please, if you wouldn't mind. Reminder about the giveaway information is below. Calumet 16 and some samples being given away tonight. 2 different winners for every $5 in super chats. But thank you to the 71 of you that are hanging out this evening. I really appreciate it. It's great to be doing this again on the channel more regularly and to start seeing the numbers reflecting that again. So that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, you could not have 2 more different batches of the Discovery series right now. So batch 7, going back to this. This is also oddly ethanol forward. Am I just really sensitive? Like, I've got to pour something to make sure I'm not crazy tonight. Something that I know is not ethanol forward. Let's see. Let's do this. I got to just have a little something on my palate to make sure I'm not going crazy, because everything tonight I've said, oh, that's ethanol forward. This is a Buffalo Trace store pick. Okay. No ethanol on that. So I don't know what it is. I think that means the whiskeys are not. I think it means there's a few flaws in some of the blends. Let's just say it that way. Okay. Slightly more dissipated on this Discovery 7. Discovery 8 still definitely crawling up the nose. So Discovery 7, all strawberry candy here. Yeah, all the way. I gave that cream savers note earlier. This is definitely that cream savers note on the nose. This is like the strawberry cream savers. Maybe even raspberry, like some sort of raspberry jam almost on the nose. The light whiskey comes through pretty prominently with that green apple peel note, those vanillas. And then back to Discovery 8 now. Yeah, just a reminder of the first the mash bill. It's like when I'm smelling Discovery 8, I'm trying to look for some of these components in this mash bill, right? In terms of the Indiana stuff, the most that I can find in here from the Indiana stuff, because of the stave finishing, is just like this burnt orange thing. And I'm just imagining that it's probably coming from the Indiana, but it doesn't have that quintessential MGP smell to it necessarily. The 11% of the Ontario corn whiskey, no, that's not really detectable. At least, as much as I can try to figure this out now. But the big one in there is that 2/3 of Heaven Hill 12-year. Besides a really heavy caramel note, it just seems like everything else is coming from the staves, which, again, this is what we have. And who knows, what does 45% mean regarding staves here? I don't exactly know. How many staves? How big was the batch that they were putting the staves in? How long did they stay in there? It's like, these are the kinds of questions that we don't really know. And I don't know, there's a QR code on the side of the bottle. Maybe I should scan this and see if it brings me to more information about that process, which it could. But that's Discovery 7 on the palate. Okay. Wow. And now Discovery 8. Oh, God. Discovery 8 is so intense. Whoa. Yeah, some dark chocolate and coffee coming through now on the Discovery 8. But only in the context of that really spicy toasted oak note, that raw wood note. It's not the kind of coffee and dark chocolate I really like in a whiskey, which is kind of a foundational note. Here, it's just hiding underneath the really spicy toasted quality. I ate too much food. I'm belching now. Eric says, got to get in on this. Thank you, Eric. And thanks for the support. 2 entries into the giveaway. Jeff Perkins says, it seems like Discovery lost a bit of their magic since 3 and 4. Look, 1, 2, 3, and 4 were fantastic stuff. It feels like what they're doing now is trying to make the best uses out of what they have. My only thing is the blend that they had in Discovery 8 before the stave finishing. I wish I could try that, because based on that blend, who knows how it actually tasted, and maybe they knew before Discovery 8 they wanted to stave finish their next discovery, and they decided, well, let's blend whatever and then let's stave finish it. That could have been it. Or maybe they tasted it and said, this is lacking here and here. Maybe if we stave finish it, it'll, boost it up a bit. I'm not sure what that conversation looks like, but I wish I could taste it before the stave finishing. It just seems like they're trying to, because they're using lesser ingredients than their previous batches, they're trying to really focus in on a singular profile with the new batches. And in doing so, they're just segmenting the releases a little bit more. They're individualizing them. So each one is going to be more divisive, I think, than they used to be. They used to just be great general whiskeys for everybody. And now I think this is for someone who loves toasted bourbons. Discovery 7 was for somebody who loved light whiskey. Discovery 5, you had to love Dickel. Discovery 6 is maybe the most general whiskey of any of the last 4 batches they've put out, actually. Stanley Wag says, does someone say Chateau de la Scooby-Doo sample? I definitely need to win. So here's 2 more entries. May have to eat PB&J until payday, but I got to take a shot. You got it, man. And Eric DeProfio says, dang it, Ogre Lounge needs a win. Cheers, all. Tom Lynch, thank you for the super chat, you guys. Tom Lynch, Penelope Toasted. He's doing a comparison right now. Sweet, spicy, nice oak, but a little astringent. That's the thing. They get astringent. Oh, Lucky 7 Holiday Toast for the win. I need to try that. Tom Lynch, another 2. Looking at the samples you shared with me in the past, pouring the Stag 15. Good call, man. It's almost MAGA. MDGA. Make Discovery great again. Jesus. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna call it on this, but I think maybe with a little bit more air in the bottle, I do think Discovery 8 is going to probably round out just a bit on the astringency. But I'm sad, man. I'm sad about this because the price of this at Bardstown Bourbon Company went up. I want to say like $20. This was $200. It's just, it's getting harder and harder. It's tough out in these streets, All right. This is that Buffalo. I'm going to take a little sip of a Buffalo Trace store pick just to come back to earth. Oh, Buffalo Trace store picks are so good. Oh my God. Whiskey Nose Marty says blending rare breed and Kentucky Spirit 50-50 killer. Yeah. Sorry, my wife just texted me. I was making sure everything was okay. That sounds good, man. Especially if the Kentucky Spirit has some oak on it. That would really help. Bo Tillman would trade my Russell's Reserve 13 for another Discovery 4. Don't say that because I have a backup that I would absolutely trade for that. Yeah, Discovery 4 is great. Discovery 4 is like, okay, so I was a Discovery 3 fan, especially when those two would just come out. The more I sip Discovery 4, the more I'm like, God, this is really good. And when you drink Discovery 3, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I would rather just drink straight up MGP at times. Tom says dibs. What are you dibsing on? Oh, you're dibsing? No way. We'll fight to the death, Tom. That's funny. Jeff Perkins, can't wait to taste some of Bardstown's own juice. Well, it's out there in certain bottles, and sampling it straight from the barrel. The rye whiskey they're doing over there is actually turning out pretty nice. It's doing pretty well, I believe. Paul Madden, what's the price of Disco 8? I think at the distillery was like $160, I want to say. Yeah. Bo Tillman says it would take 2 of them, but I'd do it. I've got 2 of them. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Enough of that. Let me check. Make sure the wife is okay. She keeps texting me. Oh, okay. We're good. We're good. Bo Tillman says, I would do it for 2. I'll DM you. All right. Let's talk. What am I going to do next? Matt Porter's blend. Duh. Thank you for all 74 of you for being here tonight. Wait. I forgot. America. You got to do it on this one. Dang, Sarah keeps texting Matt too? Shit, man. That's good. Maybe she'll just leave me alone. I'm just kidding. I hope she's not watching. 81 in the chat. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. Oh, wow. Yeah, Bo says he got 3. Jesus. Amazing. All right, Matt Porter's blend. I don't know if I have the proportions of this blend readily available in a picture form. Let me see what I can do. I think I can do this very quickly because I think it's on Matt's Instagram. Can you guys still see me? Okay. I'm going to pull this up because I think it's worth it. I do think it is worth it. ADHD Whiskey. I'm going to do this from my computer. I guess I can just take a screenshot and then bring it into what is this called? StreamYard. So sorry about this, guys, but I'm going to do this real quick. I thought it was on Matt's Instagram, but for some reason I'm not seeing it. How far back would it be? Huh. Well, I'm not seeing it, so maybe I will not do this. Okay. Aaron Williams, thank you for the $10 super chat. That is 2 entries into tonight's giveaway. I'm going to find it here on my phone. I know I found it on my phone. Maybe it's just not showing up on my computer. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. Top Dog, guys, I don't know if this bottle would still be at the distillery, if it's ever going to get widespread distribution. Woodinville did a Moscatel finished bourbon at 100 proof, and it is one of my favorite whiskeys that I've had this year. It is so freaking good. I'm a sucker for the Moscatel finished stuff, and that is a special bottle. So Daniel P in the chat hooked me up with that. Daniel, thank you so much for that, man. But I'm telling you guys, if you ever see anything Moscatel finished, Muscat Mistel, however they denote that labeling, it's all very, very good stuff. Matt, where is this blend, dude? I'm on your Instagram. I thought I remember seeing the blending proportions on here, but oh, Matt sent me a photo. There it is. Oh, maybe it was on Bardstown's Instagram, if I remember correctly now. Yeah. Let me airdrop this to my computer, and I'll put it up for you guys. Message you on Insta. Cool. Here we go. Yeah, Matt. I like the nose on this thing, man. I really like the nose. Here we go. I'm going to upload it now. This might be a little blurry, guys, but it's okay. There we go. Let me pull Matt's comment down. So what we have here in Matt's blend, as you can see, there we go. We have the majority of this is 59%, so about 60, what do you say, 3/5 of the blend is this 12-year, maybe from Heaven Hill, maybe not. 3/10, 31%. Why am I converting this? I don't need to convert this to fractions. We all know what's going on. This is a 6-year Indiana rye. This is, again, that same rye whiskey that they've used in Discovery 8. Is it not? Yes, it is. That 51% rye mash bill. And then finally, a little bit of Bardstown's, their own stuff here. 10% is their 4-year lower rye mash bill, 15% rye. Okay. So it is a Boo Rye. It's Boo Rye, right? It's not Boo Rye. I mean, it's kind of saying Boo Rye is like saying Booyah, but I don't think that's accurate. It's a Boo Rye, bourbon rye, right? So, yeah, MGP, Heaven Hill, and Bardstown, also known as the good stuff. Yeah, he chose the good stuff. That's exciting. Proof on this is 116.4 or 58.2%. So there we have it. blurry rye, says Jay. Wow, lots of spice on the nose straight off. Matt, I don't know what it is tonight, man. Everything smells sharp to me. Is your blend sharp on the nose? Maybe it's just me. I'm just going to take a sip first. Oh, Matt, dude. Nice. There's a lot of like chocolate orange in here. Yeah. There's a lot of dark chocolate and coffee. Well, no. It's like milk chocolate and also coffee. Like sometimes when I say dark chocolate and coffee, it's kind of the same note. This is like there's a distinct chocolate note, and then also there's coffee underneath it. Oh yeah, and it's showing up on the nose now. Very spicy whiskey. Definitely some dried orange in here. dry, a lot of just dry fruit in general. It's not super juicy. Nice wood influence. Yeah, I dig it. And now a little bit of like a white cake note is coming through on the top end. Damn, that's good. That's a very dark, intense whiskey. I'm digging it. What's up, James? Late to the party and can't stay long, but couldn't miss out on a chance at this. Cheers. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, get you 3 entries into the giveaway. Awesome. All right, I'm going to do another sip of this. Starting to get a little bit of red apple in here too. So what have I said so far? A little white cake on the top, red apple, some dried oranges and dried darker fruits. I also mentioned like kind of a chocolate orange note. So this kind of, goes along with that orange I talked about. And then also a little coffee at the bottom end. The palate experience is really nice though. And a little bit of a floral note coming out of the glass now, probably from that rye whiskey. It just takes off right away. All right, a little bit of nuttiness now in the second sip. I'm getting actually a little bit of peanut brittle on the second sip. Thanks for the text, Marty. I just got your text. That's interesting, man. Matt, great job. Seriously cool blend. I'm digging it. I am really digging it. And technically, Matt, wouldn't this be, you could call this a blended bourbon, right? Based on the mash bill. JG says I should have said blueberry rye. My mom says Grease doesn't have charts. You hear that, Grease? You don't have charts, bitch. That's funny. Tom, I'm glad you like it, man. Andrew Kelly says, rank everything on the table now. Give me a second. I haven't quite gotten to the Bookers yet, but I can already tell you that's where that's going to go in the rankings. American Whiskey Burai. Okay. Because what was it that called itself a blended bourbon? Oh, the OKI Reserve, because 51% of it was bourbon, right? Is that why it was allowed to do that? Wow, I'm getting so much chocolate on this now, Matt. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. It's a piece of whiskey tube history. Good stuff. I'm going to save that over here for the end of the night. So what are we going to move to next? We've got Green River. We've done the 3 Bardstowns plus the Discovery 7 comparison. God, I don't know if I want to do Bookers right now. Let's go to this. So have any of you in the chat seen this on the shelf yet? I was down in Kentucky yesterday, and I stopped off, and I saw this at a few different places, and I honestly didn't know that it was out. So it could just be that I'm out of the loop on this one. But the Nelson Brothers whiskey, which was formerly this Belmead Reserve, is out now. You can see it's the exact same bottle shape. Everything, the cork, everything is the same. Just the labeling is different. And they've moved away from Belmead. Am I still on? Is everything still good? I don't think anything has happened in the chat in the last couple of minutes here. Anyways, I'm going to taste this first before we go to Bookers. Oh, there we go. There's my chat. I think there was maybe a delay on that or something. Top Dog says we got it here in Nashville. Daniel says I've seen pics of it on the shelf, but nothing local. So Bellmead, yeah, Bellmead is gone, Tom. It's done. It is done. We've been getting a lot of Bellmead Reserve on the shelf in Ohio, which is actually rare for us. It's just sitting at places now, which it never used to. It used to be allocated. Oh, 2 months or so it's been out in Nashville, says Paul. Okay. All right. So I am going to do a video on this and compare it to the 108.3 Bellmead. This is 107.8, so half a proof point lower. Not a lot of a difference here. Probably gives them a little more flexibility to lower the proof down to there. They're probably seeing some of their batches be a little lower proof and think that that's a better choice with TTB, regulations and stuff. And well, I guess, do they call it cask strength? I don't know that they do, actually. They don't even call it cask strength, so they can actually just water it down there. They didn't call the reserve cask strength either, so all right. Cool. So on the nose, let's see. Whoa. Travis says Nelson is sourced from Bardstown, not MGP. Oh, really? Really? No shit. I guess I didn't realize that. The bottle doesn't say anything about sourcing. It just says where it's bottled, but the Old Bellmead says Lawrenceburg. Whoa. Huh. All right. I better do the damn comparison right now. Geez, if that's the case, I might have to run out and grab a few of these Bellmead Reserves that are still on the shelf. I thought they were going to maintain the sourcing from MGP. Oh, yeah. That's completely different. Shit. What does that smell like? Does that smell like Dickel? Maybe not. No, maybe. That's interesting. That's got a Kentucky and Tennessee blend vibe going on. It kind of reminds me of the Uncle Nearest 1856 at a higher proof. It's actually pretty nice. Like on the nose, you think that there could be a little Dickel influence. But on the palate, it's not that. Like there could be a little Dickel blended in here. I really don't know. I have no idea what the sourcing is like on this, but there's a lot going on. It's more classic Kentucky bourbon than anything at this point. Mm-hmm. Kind of almondy, toasty caramel, really approachable, really down the middle. Yeah, okay. So we got Stanley saying this, not releasing info, sourcing from multiple sources. Aiden saying either way, it's not MGP, it's not the same. Absolutely. Travis says, spoke with an event rep from them a few months ago as it was released. So what did they say? Aiden says, from what I can tell, it's Dickel now. They changed everything. I don't know. Based on the flavor, I wouldn't say that entirely. It's interesting that you said that though, because that's kind of what I was getting first impression wise. Yeah, Tom, no state on the bottle. Yeah, then you go back to the 108.3 and it's all that MGP goodness. The dark fruits, the strong candied orange. And the palate. So good. Oh, Travis says they said it was sourced from Bardstown. Bardstown, the city or the distillery? Huh. Well, it's good. It's not what it used to be. I feel like that's every whiskey ever nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Tom, there is a decent amount around town. If I were you and if I'm me, I'm gonna go buy one or two of those reserves to put back. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Basically just tastes like a cask strength or a higher proof 1856 from Uncle Nearest. Okay. Well, I'm going to sit with that bottle a little bit more and kind of figure out what I think, because I don't want to draw any conclusions yet. I'm too shocked. I'm too shocked by this news to draw any conclusions. All right. What else do we need to taste? This. And I brought this as well. We'll talk about that. Let me grab two more glasses. Actually, you know what? I'll just clear some of these glasses. I don't want to dirty more than, my God, 8 glasses tonight. Yeah, I don't need to use any more. Let's clear these out. Amy, that's a great comment. That's a great comment. Travis, they just mentioned Bardstown, the city. I would not, Aiden, I saw you saying possibly Barton. It does not resemble Barton to me. If it has Barton in it, it's also got Dickel too then, because there's something about it that's kind of Dickely. Tom, that's hilarious. Maybe. You never know. All right. Let's taste the new batch of Booker's. Michael, you can take that up with Eric Waite if he's still in the chat. Although you're going to be taking on Eric Waite and Ralphie at the same time. Paul says, this is from a local interview with Nelson. We want to make sure people know that Nelson Brothers products are bourbons, not Tennessee whiskeys. So that means what? That means no charcoal filtration or, charcoal mellowing, whatever you want to call it. Lincoln County process. They do contain some Tennessee made. So, okay. Confirming that there's something Tennessee made in there. You can taste it. But it's not mineral. It's just a little bit. It's kind of like the Bardstown for Cullen, where it's a little bit of like a bready texture. But not the Dickel minerality. Oh, Daniel P says Venmo'd 4 entries. Awesome. Thank you, man. Marty, please put Daniel P down for 4 entries, if you would not mind. So Dustin says, so is Belle Meade basically lower proof Nulu? It maybe. It was a blend of MGP, but it was generally thought to be 7 to 11 years old, if I recall. That might have been in former times when they had older stocks, but still 7 years as your lowest age is higher than most Nulu stuff that you're ever going to find. So 21090. What is up? Cheers, everybody. Thanks for jumping in here. Paul P. Bourbon, but they also have Kentucky. Oh. Kentucky and Indiana bourbons in them too for the Belmead, I think, or the Nelsons. Interesting. All right. So let's put this over here and let's get into the newest batch of Bookers. So when I was in Kentucky yesterday, guys, I don't ever go out and hunt Bookers anymore. It's not something I'm putting any effort into in my life because most of you know how I feel about Bookers if you've watched the channel before. It's a peanut explosion in your mouth. There's a Mr. Peanut joke in there somewhere, but it's really inappropriate. I found this at Depps, which is right across the river from Cincinnati. It's just across the border into Kentucky. Sitting on the shelf, same price as it is in Ohio, $89.99, which is ridiculous. And I picked one up. I have all of the 2021 Bookers, and I've only reviewed the first two, which was Donahoe and Tagalong. Third batch is Bardstown batch right here. Fourth batch was No Strangers. I've not reviewed those yet. And I probably won't get to because being 4 reviews behind on a product like that, you just, you run out of time. And at this point, it's not even relevant to put those reviews out. Maybe a blind flight or something. Maybe something like that I'll do. What was I thinking? So I did not see the 2022 first batch come out. I think it was Ronnie's batch. I haven't seen that anywhere in Ohio. I haven't been out to liquor stores very much. And so I saw this, which is the second batch of this year, which is called the Lumberyard batch. Now, the age statement's going up. We've got 7 years, 1 month, and 7 days. Most of the stuff from last year was 6.5 years. So we're a little over 7 years old now. Same kind of bright green label that we've got from Tagalong batch on here. Yeah, and proof is 62.4, which, yeah, right in line with some previous releases. So let's check this out. Let me check the chat here. Okay. Robert D, I'm late to the party. Yeah, I reviewed, maybe Robert's behind on the video. I don't know, but I reviewed Discovery 8 and then I put it next to 7 just a little bit ago. Bo Tillman, when am I going to do the drawing? Bo, I would say the drawing could happen in the next 15 to 25 minutes or so. So I like to get everything wrapped up that I'm talking about before I do the drawing. Basically save it till the end, and then sometimes I stay on a little afterwards and do some stuff that I didn't advertise on the thumbnail, but it's going to be another 15 minutes or so. And if you end up winning, if you can shoot me a message or something, if you want to actually chat about that, I don't know if you really are actually open for that Russell's trade or not. You let me know. But if you want to, you can always send me an email, drumsanddrams@gmail.com. And if you do that, I'll have your information anyways if you were to win the giveaway. Amy, I would sell my soul for Booker's Rye. I will tell you that right now. I've already recorded my review of that. I have not tried Booker's 30th, but yeah, regular stuff. All right, let's get into this batch now. 2022-02. Wow. Whew. It's just really, really sharp on the nose. Lemon oil, acetone. Just bright and very, very aggressive. A little red apple in here. Yeah. And some peanut brittle hanging out, but nothing dark about this batch of Bookers. It's called the Lumberyard batch, and I know the batch titles don't refer to the flavor profile, just the stories behind certain Booker No related things. And yeah, this has that raw wood character in it. So maybe it does smell like a lumberyard. I don't know. But there's no dark oak in here whatsoever. All right. Let's go to the palate. Ooh. That's just kind of like offensive. Nope. Nope, that's not it. Nope. No. All right, so don't buy that, and we're gonna move on. That's just not good. I mean, my God, guys, Booker's fell off, right, in the last 2 years. We can all kind of agree that it's not what it used to be. This is just especially bad. This is just really not good. It's so bitter and astringent and sharp and alcoholic with just nothing supporting it. It's like fingernail polish remover. I'm not actually, like, I'm not exaggerating. It smells like fingernail. I called acetone, I think, straight away. It smells like fingernail polish remover. That's not good. So with that said, I wanted to bring out what I've recently realized is actually a Booker's batch that I love. Not like, holy shit, I'm going to go stock up on these if I can find them somewhere. Not that kind of love, but like, wow, this is something that reminds me of the older batches. And I'm glad I have it. I don't wish I didn't buy it. And that is the Bardstown batch 03 from 2021. So I thought I'd bring this out, not knowing what I was going to think of this batch. And I'm glad I did, because this is a good point of comparison. So let's do it very quickly. Yeah. See, this, I say see as if you can smell this with me. This is all dark fruits, man. It's like the first Booker's batch in the last 8 or 9 batches that have had a bunch of like fruit notes to actually support what's going on in these. It's just cherries for days. And this is what the older batches were like. They had the sharp notes to it. They had the intensity and the baking spice, but they also, a lot of them had kind of boozy apple and boozy cherry notes in there. This has that cherry quality. Yeah, and there's still peanuts in this for sure. Texas Roadhouse barrel. It's like you stuck your head down in it. But the nose on this with those fruits, it's fantastic. So this one is 62.75%, so just a little bit higher than 62.4, and 6 years, 5 months. So age ain't everything. This is 8 months younger. Let's check it out on the palate. Yeah, night and day difference. It feels a little sweet and young on the palate, not in an ethanol way, not in a grain way, not in a sharpness way. It only feels young in the sense that it's kind of like, it's very sugary. It literally tastes like you're licking sugar, which makes it kind of sticky and granular on the palate. But I will take that any day over. Yeah, this is not. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable to be sold at the price point that it is. The quality of this is dog shit. I'm serious. It's just hard to. It's kind of hard to process. So look, I may or may not make a review of this. I'm actually inclined at this point not to, because of just how this is going. But my thought is this: I'd actually rather make a positive review, because all I've done is trash Bookers. Well, I guess I should be more specific. I trash Bookers on live streams and in casual conversation. Every time I get a new batch and I open it, whether it was Donahoe's or Tagalong, I always actually give them a fairly positive review, because I think I'm trying to see the best in them. But then afterwards, I compare them to things. I do all this, and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually not that good. But oftentimes, the thing that we like to do as whiskey enthusiasts and and reviewers and everything else is to say, oh, well, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is 12 years old, non-chill filtered, barrel proof. It's $70 SRP. Even if you pay secondary up to $100, it's still as cheap as Booker's. And look at all these better stats you're getting on the whiskey. Yes, that's completely accurate. I mean, I say that a lot too. But what I've decided I need to stop saying about Booker's is that, because I think, you know what? While all of you, or some of you, or even only maybe a few of you, while some of us may say any day of the week, I would rather have Elijah Craig Barrel Proof over Booker's. No comparison, does not matter. I will take it over Booker's any day of the week. I say that, and I'll live by that. And I think a lot of you and some of you, or a few of you, will say that too. But there are people out there that are going to say in a blind flight that they want the Booker's. And there are people out there who are not going to be blind and are just going to say, I want Booker's. Maybe their grandpa drank Booker's, or their dad, or whoever. And this is the bourbon they want. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, every whiskey has a place. There's some amount of subjectivity to what we do. There is objectivity that's not clearly defined as it is more defined in the world of wine. But there has to be objectivity to some degree. And we can't act like there's not. I think, for me, if I can put my objective thinking cap on, this is a bad whiskey. And then subjectively, I think this is piss. You know, like, that's where I fall on this. But for the people that do like Booker's through and through, and they're diehards, I want to be able to give a review of that next time I do give a Booker's review, and speak to those people. Because a lot of us go into those reviews with preconceptions, just saying, I'm not going to buy Booker's anymore because it's on the downhill slope. But the people that go in and they say, I like Booker's and I buy every release, how does this stack up to the others? I want to be able to give a fair comparison for those people. So I don't know why I'm saying all this, but that's kind of my thoughts as I'm tasting this, realizing it's bad, realizing actually how good Bardstown batch is just over the last couple of weeks. That's kind of where I'm thinking now. All right. Sorry, I know I missed the chat. When I go on my tirades, I just don't look at the chat, because then I get distracted. Paul says, I thought Ronnie's batch was decent. Yeah, I just have not tried it yet. And I think Suburban Dad, is that his name? Guy whose channel I just saw recently. I think he did a comparison. I believe he liked that one better, if I remember correctly. Sugar Kitty, that's a great comment. Dunny likes Booker's Bardstown. Yep. I dig it. Aiden's got an old kitchen table. That's good. Wigmaster had Shiny Barrel and liked it. I haven't had that or a kitchen table, I don't believe. But I've had a lot of the old ones last year when I did that little Booker's tournament. I cannot speak. I'm not even that intoxicated, to be honest with you. Keep scrolling the chat. Okay. Michael S. says, let the Booker sit open up and give it a try on another day. You never know. This has actually been good for some batches, like some very middle of the road batches do a little bit better with some airtime. But I'm telling you, like, this is just okay. A little lighter caramel showing up now, but that lemon oil, peanut brittle, and acetone is too much for me on this one. Amy says, what was the last really good batch of Booker's you had, Cam? No snark. If you would have just sent the first sentence, I don't know what I would have thought of that. No, I think it's Bardstown, but I wouldn't say this is really good. I think this is just like what Booker's should strive for on its worst day. The best batch I had when I was going through those batches last year was Big Man Small Batch. That was silly good. And I think Sip a While was up there too. Top Dog, I am a Knob Creek fan, but it's either got to be a good barrel pick, which could be any age. Typically around 11 is where I like their barrel picks, up to 15, which are few and far between now. But the 12-year, the Knob Creek 12-year for me, or if you can get the 12-year cask strength, which is expensive and kind of harder to find, those are my favorite Knob Creeks, without a doubt. Yeah. How is Knob Creek at 120 better than Booker's at 125? I don't know. I mean, it's just, even if the flavors are less, like, I like the flavors of Booker's if it's done right, besides like the real heavy nuttiness. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into this. I think like Larceny Barrel Proof to me is what Booker's is a better buy than Booker's now. I don't even like Larceny Barrel Proof because it's really nutty and high proof and all that kind of stuff. But to me, it tastes like what Booker's needs to be. Oh, Amy, thank you for the super chat. It's $20. KC120 kicking in. I'm in it to win it for that Calumet. Cheers. Everybody needs to drink some Knob Creek 120 and keep super chatting, guys. Pop that Knob Creek. Aiden, there's a guy called Suburban Dad. This is what I was thinking of earlier, maybe. He says he loves the complexity on Booker's, and I was like, I don't understand, but glad you like it. That's funny. Let's see. Wigmaster, around here it's $59.99. But yeah, I think 75 to 85 is maybe more common in certain states, certain shops. I do agree they should get rid of the box and charge less. The box is such a staple, though, at this point, there's no way they can get rid of that. You guys are cracking me up. Some of these I'm not going to put on the screen. James says the Old Baker's. Yeah, my Old Baker's 107 from 2013 is very good. Very good. And Marty, Knob 12-year cast strength is far and away the best Knob Creek, I guess, regular release, even though it's still like pretty limited. All right, so that's that. What else do we have? Is there anything else I need to taste, guys? Let me look around real quick. The one bottle that I cannot find right now, I was in, like I said, I went to Kentucky yesterday to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Stopped there, got my bottles by 8:45 in the morning, got back to Louisville, basically right at the open of Old Forester. And I've never been to Old Forester. I haven't been to a lot of the bottle, distillery gift shops in Kentucky. So I don't really know how they work. Like, I don't know if they release every day or some days, or if they advertise. I'm not in that loop because I never go down to do that stuff. So I stopped by Old Forester, just like crossing my fingers that they would have the Whiskey Row Fire maybe still there. I know the release was, I think, last week, but yeah, no luck on that one. That's the bottle I'm trying to source right now, is that Whiskey Row Fire. That's the one I'm looking for because, just the fact that it's so exclusive to Kentucky and to the distillery. I hate paying secondary for those little bottles. Those half-size bottles for $2.50 a pop is just like, that's too much. It's just too much. What else do we have back here? Let's check the chat. I don't know if I've tasted Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B522 on a live stream yet. Do you guys remember? Does anybody remember if I've done that? I think I may have done Larceny. Maybe? I don't know that I've done Elijah Craig, though. Is that, Bo, you're talking about Larceny? Tom, I haven't been out looking, man. I just don't go out whiskey hunting anymore, unfortunately. So I have not seen any. So, guys, real quick, we're going to do the drawing. Let's say we do the drawing at 10:15 tonight. So that's in 8 minutes. So any last-minute super chats in the next 8 minutes, just a reminder, every $5 gets you an entry. Marty from Whiskey Nose is keeping track of super chats. Marty, thank you so much. I'm going to call it at 8:15 because I don't want to keep you around. I feel bad, but I really appreciate you offering to do it tonight. First prize wins a bottle of Calumet Farm 16, as well as a sample of Matt Porter's ADHD Whiskey Blend. And second place, or the second person whose number gets pulled, is going to win a Bardstown Bourbon Company sample pack. And there's going to be a few gems in that. Let me just tell you that right now. So that's what we're doing. So get your super chats in if you want to be entered into the giveaway this evening. Every $5 is a new entry. John, thank you for the super chat. The new Larceny A122 was really good, but I'm with you on the Bookers. Yeah. Larceny B522, I think I didn't hate that one. I think I kind of liked it. Bo was talking about Larceny. Okay. Michael, memory is the first thing to go when you turn 28 in a few weeks. It's already going. It's the whiskey. It's the whiskey. All right. What am I gonna do? I want to do one more pour. Does anybody see anything behind me or think of anything that you might want to hear some discussion or some notes about? I gotta see. I don't know. Malort, says Wigmaster. I actually have never had Malort. Still. Robert Bassett, $9.99. Would like to hear what you think of that Elijah Craig barrel proof. Robert, thank you for the super chat. Are you talking about B522? I can pull B522 right now. Should be right over here. Greg McDonald, this is epic. You know what makes this better? Is like, I don't know if 2202 is a typo or not. That's what I like about this, besides the Jimmy Russell junk call out. If you guys don't know what this is all about, just go look up a picture of any of the whiskey tubers taking pictures with Jimmy Russell, and you'll know exactly what this is talking about. It's hard to miss. Oh, Christopher Casca says, agree with the B522. All right, we'll do some B522 right now. We will do some B522. Audio Junkie says, hey, anything new from Barrel Craft Spirits? I don't have anything new. I need to put out my review of the batch 32 sample they sent me. That is coming in the next 2 weeks or so, I believe. I kind of feel bad about that. There's a lot of distillery scent stuff that I need to get to. That stuff can start to add up faster than you think. And then it's at a point now where I'm just going to have to tell distilleries, I don't know when I'm going to review it, and I may not be able to review it depending on many factors, quality of the product, my opinion, other things on my plate, which I think is what a lot of people end up saying is this may or may not get reviewed because it's just the reality of the situation. All right. These are the Bookers. Let's see. I'm actually going to save the rest of this Bardstown batch pour because it's pretty good. All right, let's do B522. So I have not reviewed C921. Again, obviously the channel was just not busy, not doing stuff. I haven't done C921, A122, and now B522. Now I could get this B522 review out next week or in a few days, whenever. I was trying to decide if I wanted to review the others first. Maybe with a comparison, like I did with the Stag Junior 16 and 17. I thought maybe I could do 921 and A122 comparison. Pick a favorite between the two. And then when I reviewed B522, do a comparison between that one with B522. I haven't exactly decided what I want to do with that, because it's the same situation with a lot of products. Like Bardstown Discovery, I haven't done 6, 7, or 8 now. It's like, what do I do? So maybe I'll do a 6 and 7 comparison and then go to 8. I really don't know. It's hard trying to catch up. Or I could just say screw 6 and 7 and just go from 8 and move on. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, because I am kind of mulling this over right now as I bring things back. Or I could do a three-way review of the 3 that I just haven't reviewed. I can do that too. I think I saw a comment earlier about a Scotch. Let me scroll back up real quick. Something about a Scotch. I don't know who. Well, there's not a lot of Scotch drinkers in here right now, I don't think. Oh, Sugar Kitty, right. What's the latest Scotch you bought? Sugar Kitty, the latest ones I bought were the ones in Austria last month. 2 months ago now. I have one really heavily sherried Glenallachie, which is pretty cool. But maybe my favorite of the bunch is a 14-year Craigellachie aged in a ruby port quarter cask. That one is special. I mean, the Glenallachie is a sherry bomb. It's a little too almondy for me. I like Oloroso sherry, but when it gets too much almond, kind of takes away. If you throw some water into this Glenallachie and cut it down, it loses a little bit of that almond, and I like it more. But the Craigellachie 14-year ruby port quarter cask, that one is just sick. It's so good. 100% pure mustard. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. A month later, Calumet 16, still not quite as good as Remus 5. I feel like I might be in that camp with you. And I haven't formally reviewed Calumet 16 yet, and I haven't tasted it in like a week or two. I am like constantly flipping back and forth on it. So for me, until I have like a, yes, I'm going to put this flag down and say this about it, I don't want to put a review out about it yet. But so many people love it that I'm just like, okay, that it's not coloring my interpretation of it, but I'm wondering if I'm going to end up there or not. But the fact that so many people love it is like, this could just be a subjective taste thing for me for some reason. Sugar Kitty, I remember hearing about that 14-year. Well, this one was actually an independent bottling. So this was by the Whiskey Chamber, I believe, is who did that bottling. Yeah, so I can't remember the store I got it from. Oh, Colin says, plenty of Scotch on the way to you tomorrow, Cam. Thanks, man. I'll get your package out ASAP with everything else I've got. I finally have more sample bottles here, and I just need to wrap 1 million samples. Oh, Dustin got a 917 for 85. That's very good. First time I tried C917, I believe, was in a blind from Amy Bohm. I remember calling out a lot of like strange notes on that one, like really dark tobacco, cigar, like pipe tobacco, all sorts of darker notes like that. Robert, have you had any Lucky 7? Yeah, I have 8 different single barrels of the Proprietor 14-year. That stuff is some of my favorite whiskey right now. And I have not tried any of the other stuff from them. Any of the Holdups, the Jokester, the Holiday Toast, the younger Proprietors. So I need to, the Frenchman, I need to get my feet wet a little bit with some of those other ones. Okay, guys, we're going to cut Super Chats now. I totally missed the 10:15 cutoff. So we're going to cut Super Chats now. If someone comes in the next like 20 seconds, that's fine. Okay, we got one right now. Toshi Bake jumping in here. So let's cut the Super Chats for like, in the next 20 seconds, we're going to be done with that. Marty, thank you for tracking. We're going to do the giveaway real quick. And then I will review, give some impressions very quickly of Elijah Craig B522, which I know is kind of like distribution on these has been really weird. I mean, for a lot of bottles, but since the Heaven Hill strike that happened, I felt like distribution on some of the limited release stuff has been different than it used to be in terms of which states are getting stuff first and everything else. So, this may just be showing up in your area right now, or maybe A122. Toshi Bake. Might as well get in before the cutoff, sipping an 8-year purple top. I've never had a purple top before. I don't know what all the hype is around those, but I've always been very curious. That sounds awesome, man. Cheers. All right. Marty, shoot me a text with the final count. I see what you sent me at 9:30. Send me a thing with the final count. So, guys, the way it's going to work, Marty's going to randomize the list. All right. And I will call 2 numbers through Siri. The first number is going to win the Calumet Farm 16 right here. And let's clear some of this out of the way. All right. First place winner is going to win the Calumet Farm 16 and a sample of Matt Porter's blend. And second place wins a Bardstown flight. Here's the deal. If you do win tonight, it's on you, especially if I don't know you and I don't have your information, to send me an email at what I'm dropping in the chat now, drumsanddrams@gmail.com. You got to send me an email with who you are in the chat, you know, what your name is, I guess, if it's different, your address, and you can always like just confirm with me what you won, you know, but I do have a record of that. 21090. Oh, we got to get 21090 in the giveaway. Marty, let's throw 210 in there. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys for the super chats, everybody. And 210 because Cam rocks. I appreciate it. So you guys got to send me an email, drumsanddrams@gmail.com with that information, or else I don't know who to send things to. All right. And it's hard to track people down. Does Brian have purple tops? I know he's got a lot of Four Roses. I didn't know he had purple tops. Wigmaster Jason said purple tops. Yeah, but you know, the thing is, a lot of the purple tops are different runs, different mash bills, different generations of purple tops. So I feel like they vary enough. Maybe not. I don't know. Toshi Bake, hit up the Willet bar. You'll spend some money, but it's unreal. Yeah, I have a really hard time spending a lot of money on whiskey at bars. Even like distillery bars, I have a hard time with it. So maybe. But I am curious to go to Willet. I really am. All right, guys, we have 78 total entries, says Marty. So let's get this over with right now. Thank you all so much for the super chats. I seriously really appreciate it. Here we go. Hey, Siri, pick a number between 1 and 78.
A random number between 1 and 78 is 16.
All right, Marty, number 16 is the winner of the Calumet Farm 16. How ironic. And the sample of Matt Porter's blend. 16. All right, let's see who we've got for number 16. What do we got, Marty? Oh, Jake McKee. Awesome. So, Jake McKee, I'm glad I didn't send you your Patreon giveaway win yet, because now I can combine that with this giveaway win. So Jake McKee is the winner of the Calumet Farm 16 and the sample of Matt Porter's blend. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Giveaway. What's today? 7/14. Jake McKee, Calumet, and Porter blend. And now let's see who wins the Bardstown sample pack. And then we'll finish up with this Elijah Craig B522 review. Hey, Siri, pick a number between 1 and 78.
A random number between 1 and 78 is 56.
All right, Marty, 56. Let's see who we've got for number 56. again, I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting the channel. Give, super chats. I know we do giveaways. I look at it as like, you want the giveaway, but also you do like to, support the channel. Whatever way you look at it is fine. But, it's nice that you guys are supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it, especially as I'm getting back to it. So, oh, Tom Ledge. Nice, Tom. Nice work, Tom. So I guess we're going to meet up, man, because I got to give you these samples. We can go have a pour or something. So, Tom, you are the winner of the sample pack, Bardstown sample pack. So we can work together, and I'll give you some stuff that you haven't had from Bardstown. I don't know exactly what all that's going to entail, but, we will find some good stuff, man. Make it happen. And you know what else is good? I don't have to ship the damn thing. The price that I would pay to ship it to you, now it can be the price of the pour at Lizardville if we meet up at Lizardville and have a pour there. So instead of paying the money to FedEx, I can pay it to a bar and drink whiskey. So yeah, congrats to Jake and Tom. That's great, guys. Thank you all so much. Damn, it's serious when Tom says yas. Yeah, he's verklempt when that word comes out of his mouth. I'm just playing, Tom. I've got to have the egg salad sandwich at Willet, guys. I'm so curious about this. Although I'm still trying to figure out if I have a gluten intolerance. I've tested negative for celiacs with my scoping and everything like that. And I've been eating gluten-free and dairy-free for quite a while at this point, just to try to get things sorted out and then introduce a few of those here and there to see how much it affects my system. But maybe I'll break that for the egg salad sandwich at Willet's. Everyone says it's awesome. All right, guys. So 86 in the house just a second ago. That's amazing. Hit that like button, please. We're not done yet. We're going to do Elijah Craig B522. And now I'll take the giveaway banner away just so we can get that out of here. You can see more of the table mess now. Sorry about that. There's a lot of bottles. Let's kind of clear it off a bit. All right. So, David Babcock, do you have a pick you're working on? No, I don't. I have some ideas of something. So David, I love Middle West spirits, right? And I want my first pick to be with Middle West spirits because I think their whiskey is so unbelievably good and underrated. They are transitioning right now from 30-gallon barrels to 53-gallon barrels, which I talked about on my stream 2 weeks ago. But I want my first pick to be with them. Now, personally, I like the 30-gallon barrels better for what they were doing. The 53-gallon barrels need a few more years of aging. I do have an idea, though, and I'm going to work on a little blending experiment at home and see if it works, first off, and then approach them and see if they're willing to do it. I spoke to Rudra when I was there last time, which is one of the guys that works there, and I said, hey, would you be open to blending from 2 single barrels, to do a double barrel blend, one being a 53-gallon, one being a 30-gallon, and just dial in the proportion of what that blend should be, and then move that as a pick. And they actually can do that because their label filing is not as a single barrel. The label filing is just as a cask strength. So they can blend different barrel sizes. So I have a 53 and a 30-gallon barrel, single barrel here at my house, different, bottles. And I'm going to do my own blend. Now, obviously, every barrel is going to be different, but I can hopefully find a general percentage area of what is going to work best. And I would love it if my first pick could not only be from Middle West, which, again, they haven't said yes to this officially. I'm just spitballing here. I'd love it to be with them, and I would also love it to be something different. Everyone's doing picks, and I think picks are great. And most of what I buy and drink are picks, truly, besides the allocated shit I buy for the channel and review on here. And I buy it for myself, not just the channel, obviously. But The picks are the really interesting thing for me, and I think to do something new and to be able to do a blend like that is the most exciting thing. So, okay. Top Dog, great night. See you all on the next one. See you later, Top Dog. Thank you for being here and for being such a great supporter, man. I really appreciate it. Let's go to this B522 on the nose. I'm telling you, I don't know what is wrong with my nose tonight. Everything is so ethanol forward. It's just freaking me out. This is a really barrel char heavy batch of Elijah Craig barrel proof. What's the proof on this? 121. There's a lot of barrel char in this. And coffee. All those kind of dark notes. Yeah, tons of really kind of what do you call that? Like cinnamon stick. Tons of cinnamon stick, barrel char, coffee, dark chocolate. It's also a little astringent, though. There is a little bit of a lemon rind kind of thing. A little bit of astringency too. Let me do it on the palate. Cheers. Oh, it fell off. That was weird. It didn't fall all the way off, but it fell off. Like right as soon as front of the palate, it hits, and then it was like, here we go. And it was gone. Something hung on, like 40% of the flavor was still there, but just kind of died off. That was so strange. Huh. Yeah, very, still come back to the nose. All burnt caramel now. Oh God, what is that note that I'm getting? Some sort of toastiness and like some sort of baked good, but I can't quite place it. Interesting. Bo Tillman, thanks for the fun cam. Sent you a DM. Okay, I'll get back to you. I will make sure to check it. Sometimes I totally miss DMs. I just am so bad about that. Marty, Middle West Spirits here in North Carolina, but no picks. Marty, it depends on the batch number. As they've transitioned to the 53-gallon stuff, it's definitely lightened up their whiskey. Although I think right now, as they're phasing out, they are blending some 53 and some 30-gallon in their main batched products that are lower proof. So, the 4-grain bourbon and the rye are both, I mean, everything by them is good. My first suggestion is to go get the rye, the dark pumpernickel, and then the 4-grain bourbon that they do. Those are both amazing. The picks are kind of not a big thing out of state, I don't believe. Yeah, Tom, I think a blended pick with them would be a lot of fun. Wigmaster, this is a very interesting point. If they brought back the pirate bottle but didn't change the whiskey, I don't know. I mean, look, I have the pirate bottle that everybody regards as the best one, right? The 139.4 proof batch 11. So that's not a good judge. I need to try one of the ones that people say is just average, and then compare it to a current bottle and see how that stacks up. Ted says, I will buy as many Middle West Spirits picks as I can that you pick. Yeah, Marty says it was like a charred popsicle stick. Yeah, it's so much char on this. And it's not even like a bad thing necessarily, but it's also being hit with that weird lemony thing, which when you get this weird lemon oil thing, like I got on that new Booker's batch, a little bit of that's here. When you put it with like a char note, it becomes really astringent. And then there's like a lot of ethanol on this for 121 proof, which doesn't make a lot of sense. There, I mean, there is some decent oak, and there is actually a nice leather note on this too. The front of the palate's like pretty nice. And then it just goes away. That's so weird. Not as much as B521, which to me is the worst Elijah Craig barrel proof batch that's ever been released, B521. But this is kind of trending along those same lines. So who knows? You know what? Maybe the next video I put out will be just a blind with this C921 and A122. Maybe I'll just do that and just let the blind speak for itself and kind of go from there. I think maybe that's a better idea. Whiskey Nose 2014 was the best I ever had. Yeah, I haven't had any from that, that long ago. B520 is great. Wigmaster, I drank some of that last night, actually. Wigmaster, I think Jason liked it. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the 139.4, if that's what you're talking about. Jason's the one who gave it to me and got me addicted to it. Andrew Kelly, so is the ADHD blend the best thing on the table? Yes, it is. So on the table, Green River, Buffalo Trace Pick, which is really good, but this is not a good thing to compare to these others. You know what I mean? Green River, Buffalo Trace Pick, Matt's Blend, Booker's Bardstown batch, for Cullen, Discovery 7, Discovery 8, and also this Heaven's Door. I will say, guys, this Heaven's Door Decade Series #1, when this comes out, I you know what? I really like it. It's different, and I really, really like it. Yeah. But I think, here, Elijah Craig B522, and here's Matt's Blend. I actually thought Elijah Craig B522, because it's so classic Heaven Hill bourbon on the nose, might beat that. Nope. Matt, I'm telling you this. I swear on my life I would be honest with you about Matt's blend or anybody else's blend that is a friend or acquaintance or, colleague, whoever of mine. I would be totally honest. No matter what bourbon it is, there's no sense in lying about it because you have an emotional attachment to the bourbon or the person. Some of my favorite stuff is not good, but it's just something that subjectively is, matters a lot to me and I like it, right? I'm telling you, objectively, Matt's bottle is the best thing on this table, and it's very good. Yeah. It's just it's balanced. It's well put together. I dig it. Top Dog, is your best bourbon chosen on taste or experience? Chosen on taste, on experience. I think the question is if it's chosen, whether it's on taste or some sort of experiential thing. I mean, I am at the point where I feel that I can accurately separate those things. So I do. So my favorite bourbon of all time is Chateau de Labade. But I know that part of that is because it was the first special bottle I ever had, and so Chateau de Labade is one of the most meaningful bottles to me for no real reason. It's not like something that with Sarah and I or my parents or grandpa, it's just something that means a lot to me. But I also think it's such a good bourbon. Yeah. And then Sarah and I have definitely an experiential bottle, maybe a few of those together. And then some of the other stuff I feel like I can objectively talk about, and that is not related to that. So I think you have to be able to separate it. The one that gets muddy for me is Chateau de Labade, I would say. Yeah. So Tom, hey man, I'll give you apple brandy. I don't know about Chateau de la Botte. I'm just kidding. I'll give you some Chateau de la Botte. Yeah, man. It is a modern day goat. I had 3 backups. At one point I had 6 backups in the early days when they were like $350 each, and I sold a few of them because I just needed the money, honestly. It was like at the beginning of COVID, and so I sold some of them, and then I had 3 backups, and then I just sold one recently again because I was like, I could use the money from that one, but I just wish I would have kept it. It's just one of those bottles, like it's just so special to me. Like after I sold it, I was like, I can't believe I got rid of that bottle. Yeah. So whatever. Anyways. Yeah, Tom, I had 6 plus an open at the beginning, like right when they came out, when I found out about them, and they were sitting around $250 each, secondary, which you look at that today and it's like, that's hilarious. They're $1,000 secondary now. Yeah, I had 6 of them. So silly. And at one time I went to Indiana and I got a whole case. I got 6 bottles of the apple brandy finish from one shop. I just said, can I buy all of them? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, can you give me 15% off? And they're like, sure. And and they were all at retail. It was crazy. Oh, and I traded a bunch of them away. I'm like, why'd I do that? I only have 1 backup left and almost a full bottle open, but I did send Matt Porter one, and I'm glad he enjoyed it. So, geez. Yeah. All right. Matt did a great blend, guys. Very, very cool. So real quick, before I get off here, thank you so much for the super chats tonight. Guys, if you really want to support the channel, one of the best ways to do it is to go check out the Drums and Drams Patreon. I'm getting things back up and running over there. I've been posting some written reviews, starting to do some more, video updates and things like this. We do giveaways every month, either a bottle or a sample pack, sometimes 2 bottles, sometimes 2 sample packs per month. And that's just randomly drawn for people in the $10 tier. Everybody gets 1 entry just automatically for being a patron. There's only $5 and $10 tiers. And, it's less than an ESPN Plus or Netflix subscription or whatever. It's just a great way to support the channel if you do enjoy the content. So I always get really weird about plugging stuff like that. And I just have decided it's one of the biggest things to support the channel is the Patreon. Like super chats and Patreon all the way. Super chats, they take a lot of the money. YouTube takes a bunch of it. And Patreon takes significantly less. So consider the fact that you are entered into a giveaway over there. If you really are just trying to get giveaways and bottles, $10 for a monthly entry. The bottles I give away are usually around $60, $70 bottles. So, just consider it. But it's a cool way for me to connect with you, and I'm going to be more active over there. And, when the Drums and Drams, I'm going to rebrand a little bit, I think, logo wise, or maybe just expand some of the things and get a few different looks for the channel that I can start using more regularly. When that happens and merch starts coming around, Patreon is going to be the first people to have access to that stuff, of course. And when barrel picks do start happening, obviously that's going to be a Patreon thing. So just consider checking it out. You can find that link Instagram, on YouTube, wherever, or just type it into Patreon if you're patrons for somebody else. Wigmaster, what if we want to support big tech? Yeah, send a bunch of super chats. They take like 30% or some shit. It's crazy. Audio Junkie, I heard they're working on CDL too. Yeah, they are working on a second Chateau de la Botte. It's probably, I can't imagine it's going to be old MGP in there. I haven't heard exactly what the base bourbon is, but I'm sure it's going to be good, but I just don't think it's going to be what the first one was. Does that mean the first one gets cheaper because there's more on the market, or more expensive because it's not going to be as good? Time will tell. Have a great night, Marty. Yeah, Daniel. Guys, you can always Venmo me. I don't know if Daniel, is that still in the description of the video? I just copy and paste the descriptions. My Venmo is Leach Music. You can always Venmo me, and if I'm doing a giveaway instead of Super Chat, it comes directly to me, and we do still enter you into the giveaway for the evening. So that's a great way to make your money go a little further, at least for me. You get the same amount of entries, but I get to make a little bit more on the back end, which is always nice. All right, guys. Well, check out the Patreon. Hey, the other thing, check out Drums and Drams Instagram. I've been working on my photography skills. I don't know if you guys have noticed in some of the thumbnails. For the full reviews, the thumbnails have just been bottle pictures, no text. I don't know if that's good or bad at this point, but I've decided to just use it as like a way for me to practice my photography. And all I'm working with is this room for my photography. What you see besides my desk over there with my computer and where I work during the day, this is the whole room. So there's not a lot of resources in here. I just use the lights that I have and the camera and everything. And I've been working on my photography. So yeah, why did I say that? Oh, check out the Instagram page. Go give that a follow and everything, because I post over there. And I'll be doing some more live streams over there as well. Just quick little unboxings and things like that. Oh, Daniel says it's not in the description. Okay, I'll have to put it back in there. That might have been, once I got monetized, maybe I took it away or something. All right, guys. Cheers. I'm going to wrap up with this final sip of Matt Porter's ADHD Whiskey Bardstown exclusive blend. And congrats to Jake McKee and Tom Lynch for winning the giveaways tonight. They're both going to get to taste this blend as soon as I get off my butt and ship these samples out. Cheers, guys. I'll see you soon. Check out the Instagram. Check out the Patreon. Thank you for supporting. You're all great. I've got a new video that I think I'll drop tomorrow if I can get it finished. We will see. Cheers.